Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the AM Show. I am so excited today to bring you Jonathan Rudolph. He has started this amazing community of graphic designers. You can find him on Instagram under Logo Inspirations, and he's going to tell us about how this community has shaped him and the community at large, including graphic designers and creatives. This is the AM Show with arts music lawyer, where ambition and motivation meet persistence and drive, where your wildest dreams come true and even the greatest possibilities become realities. Listen to people just like you who stay authentic to who they are and master the art of their craft. Are you sharing the art of you? The art of you is music to my ears. Stay focused, stay on track. Create a new lifestyle with ambition and motivation. The AM Show. This episode is sponsored by the law firm of Marcella Dominguez. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or artist looking to protect your brand, then Marcella is right for you. Marcella has worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs like authors, clothing brands, Amazon sellers, consultants, and entertainers. Protecting your brand does not have to be tough. Let Marcella save your brand before your business name or slogan gets pulled out from under you. Go to marcellatm.com to learn more. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hi, Marcella. I'm honored to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here. I think graphic designers are underestimated. Their work is definitely underestimated. So I want you to tell me everything about this community that you have brought together with your group.
Cool. So I'll tell the story of how it got started. It was kind of like an accident.
Mm-hmm.
I was working I was doing freelance on the side, trying to make a bit more money, as a designer, because designers aren't getting paid that much, graphic designers. So I was doing my freelance, and then my wife was trying to help me out.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you're trying to look at sites like 99 Designs,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the other one? I think it was Elance.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a competition where you submit your work and hope that the client selects your work. So I won like a couple, but it wasn't great. And client work was starting to dry up. And so my wife said, "Hey, do you want to check out Instagram? I see a couple of designers sharing their work, and it could be a cool thing for you." So she started an account for me. My freelance business was called The Graphic Illusionist,
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of a funny name for a freelance business. And she started posting my work, and surprisingly, like, I was getting comments and likes, and it was kind of taken off. And I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting platform." And I was kind of exploring Instagram and thought to myself, maybe I could curate some logos, as a hobby account. As to this day, I still can't remember how I got the name Logo Inspirations. It would have been a suggestion from Instagram. So I created it and started posting logos.
Uh-huh.
I was just like snapping logos at the time, anything that I could find while I was out in the world. And man, it just started to take off.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think in the first couple of days I got 100, and then in the first year of doing it, got 100,000 followers, and it just started to snowball from there.
Interesting. So what kind of content were you posting initially to gain that traction? And is it the same kind of content that you're still posting to this day?
Yeah, so it was just basically logos and tagging the designers and giving them exposure. So it was like a curated community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to this day, yes, I still post logos and videos of other designers creating logos. And yeah, I've also started to create some products of mine.
That's amazing. And so you mentioned products. How did you get into starting products? At what point did you decide, okay, I have a large enough community now that maybe that's what they need?
Cool. So before I get into products, when it was growing, I started trying to figure out, okay, so it's getting really big and it's taking quite a bit of my time. I started a blog as well for the logos, and thought to myself, okay, how am I going to monetize this? So one idea was, oh, okay, maybe he contact companies and share their logo and get some money for that. But no, that model didn't work out. And then one day, this company called Logo Co contacted me and said, okay, we have a course about logo design. Would you like to share it on your Instagram? Put the link in your bio. And for each sale made through that link, we'll give you a commission. And I'd never heard of it. It's affiliate marketing. I'd never heard of it before. I've never heard of the model. I was like, oh, so you could sell other people's products and get a percentage of the sale. So yeah, and then I shared that link, and I think the first day was around $250 that I made in the first day, and that blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started to explore other avenues, like started working with Skillshare, Artlist, and yeah, so I was selling other people's products for a while, and then thought to myself, you know what, it's time to focus on some products of my own. And I collaborated with a designer called Derek Stratton, Days Designs, and we did a course for mascot and esports logo designs, and I promote that right now on Instagram.
And how is that going for you?
Oh, it's going pretty well, yeah. So we split the cost 50%, the profit.
So I don't want to, dive into specifics if you're not ready to share those, but I think that I want to ask anyways, just because I'm a little bit of a risk taker, and also because I think that other designers and creatives who are watching might want to know what their financial prospects look like if this is something they wanted to get into. So can you share maybe, a rough estimate of what your best day or your best month has looked like with these courses, and also maybe your worst month?
Would that include affiliate marketing or just the courses?
Both.
Okay. So at the height of affiliate marketing, I was making in around 5,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And so once I added the courses, maybe a little bit more. So right now with the courses, it's been about, say, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we made about 13,000.
That's great. And so, this is in addition to a day job, because you have a day job, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So at what point do you think you might decide, okay, I've built a community large enough, I'm going to scale it, and it's eventually going to replace my income and not supplement it?
Cool. Well, I actually tried that last year for 5 months, but then my wife and I were looking for a house, and banks wouldn't give you a loan if you're working by yourself or trying to be an internet entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So I had to look for a full-time job again. So we're in the process of, looking for a loan, and then after that happens, then I'll try and get back into full-time logo inspirations.
Nice. And so what have you found to be the most unique thing, or what have you found to be something that you never expected to learn in this process?
That I could connect with people from around the world just from my laptop and phone and create good relationships, and work together with them. I never thought that would be possible. But the number of design friends that I've made since I started, and it's been really cool. So, and we're working on a few projects at the moment. So yeah, I never expected that.
That's amazing. And so how do you think you have influenced, people who follow you on IG? Sure, they might find the curated content motivational or inspirational, or they might be curious, but how have you motivated them or inspired them outside of just posting curated content?
Well, I recently started a podcast, and where I interview freelancers about their journey and the struggles in life and how they overcame them. And that's been getting a lot of good feedback. So other designers listening to the podcast and getting inspiration through that, and knowledge and advice from other designers. I hope that helps them with their design career.
And so how do you think the podcast has influenced you? What have you learned from the podcast that you wouldn't have otherwise known?
Be consistent. Post every week. Because if you don't, you see a drop in numbers. And like I said before, like the people I meet through the podcast, it's really helped me, and I'm learning from them, you know. So it's kind of like what would you say, a two-way street. So I'm giving them exposure, but then I'm learning from them as well.
I see. So it's definitely a symbiotic relationship. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you mind sharing some of those social media tips? I'm sure that there are graphic designers,
Yeah, no
creatives,
worries.
all sorts of people who are dying to grow their community. So what tips do you have?
Cool. So what really grew my account was me posting every day. And like when I started, I was posting almost every hour. And from the time I got up until the time I went to bed, but I cut it back a bit. So consistency is one. Instagram is like a monster that you need to feed every day. And if you don't feed it, it's not going to give you the exposure that you want. So post every day. You could even say you have a piece of content that you're working on, some design project. Break it down, like break it down into the sketch process. You can post that. Maybe a grid pattern, a video, close-ups. So you can break one piece of content for like a whole week and then share one piece every day. Hashtags is the other one. Hashtag for each post. I'd recommend having 20 hashtags that's relevant to your account, and then the remaining 10 that's relevant to the post. You get what I mean? Say if it's like a zebra logo, have the 10 remaining hashtags, like hashtag zebra, hashtag animal logo, related, and do some research, see which hashtags get you the most likes, that kind of thing. And obviously high quality images. You wouldn't want to go to somebody's Instagram and have pixelated images, which is kind of going to throw you off.
Do you think these tips are applicable to everybody, or do you think they're mostly applicable to designers and creatives?
Applicable to everybody.
I see. So what is your plan? Do you plan to continue to grow the community, or do you plan to like have a spin-off business that's devoted to this community? What's your plan?
Grow the community, grow the podcast, and I want to collaborate with more designers and do more courses specific to each kind of logo design. There's 2 in the works that I'm working on. So one's icon marks, which I'm doing with Scott Fuller of Studio Temporary. And another one is badge design that I'm working on with another designer. So I want to grow into more courses. And I've also had this idea of doing a monthly digital magazine about logos. So that's in the works as well. It's just like growing the community mainly.
And if you don't mind sharing with everybody, what is your day job, and does it complement, enhance, detract from building your community?
Well, it's a great job, but I'd say it detracts from what I want to do. Like, even though I'm at work, like when I'm on my lunch break, I'm like constantly thinking of what I can do for logo inspiration. So I'm a graphic designer for a travel agency. And I help them with their media and marketing campaigns. Don't get me wrong, it's a great job. We get free massages and free ice cream, but
Ooh, nice.
It's nothing like working for yourself.
Yeah. And so do they know about your community?
Yeah. There's a funny story. So it was me and another designer, and then we hired a junior designer, and we start talking, and I say, as a hobby, I run this, I run this account called Logo Inspirations. Oh my God, I follow your account. So she had been following my account, and it was kind of cool. To me to follow who joined the team.
So that's amazing. You don't realize who's watching you, and really it's, people at work who know all about you. So how can people connect with you? Let's say they have questions about growing a community or just inspiration for logo designs, or maybe you can lead them in the direction of somebody who can help them grow their design business. Where can they find you?
So I'd recommend emailing me at logoinspirations gmail.com,
Mm-hmm.
because some of the DMs that I get, it just keeps, I get like 100 DMs a day, so it's really hard to keep track. So I'd recommend sending me an email. Also, I'm outline a plan for Instagram course for creatives on how to grow their Instagram. So yeah, if you need any tips, just email me.
And which of your courses has been the most successful?
Well, right now it's one, and we're working on two. So obviously, Esports logo, the logo course, yeah.
Can you explain to everybody, what the difference is between like designing an esports logo as opposed to designing a product-based logo?
Mm-hmm. So esports and mascot logos are based on, have you heard of electronic sports? So it's basically, so it's got popular over the years where it's basically a whole stadium where it's like watching a soccer match, but watching people play video games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's grown really huge, and they have teams, and the companies pay big money. So you get designers working for those kind of teams, just focusing on that niche, and they seem to be doing really well. And mascot logos, like for sports logos, like a mascot of a team. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what it is.
So how is that different than, let's say, embarking on a creative process for designing a product-based business's logo, or a service-based business, like let's say a doctor's office or a baby product? How are they all different from each other? Do they require different creative processes?
Not really. It's just, you just get the brief and do the concepts based on the brief, and then you present them to the client. So the process is pretty much the same. It depends on the brief.
Mm-hmm. So are there like tools and techniques that you can just kind of have in your back pocket, where if you're designing for a service, you can use this technique, or a product, this technique?
Yeah. So with esports, you'd have to learn more on Illustrator, because it's kind of like creating a cartoon character, but making it eligible that you could have it on your t-shirts printed small, and it would be good on a flag as well. Mm-hmm. So as opposed to a minimalist style logo for like a cafe or something. Mm-hmm. So there's a bit more practice that needs to go into esports and mascot logo design.
I see. So just two more questions before we end the podcast. One, do you think every business needs a logo?
Yes. I see logos like the face and your personality as the brand. So when you meet somebody, you need to be presentable. So you need to have a good presentable face. And that's what the logo is for your company.
Uh-huh. Nice. And second question and last question. I know that sometimes you might need a little bit of a pick-me-up. So what music do you listen to, or what song in particular do you listen to that just pumps you up?
Foo Fighters, Learn to Fly.
Can you sing a little bit, please?
Run and tell all the angels, this could take all night. I think I need a devil to help me get things right.
Thank you so much. I'm telling you, creatives are always ready, willing, and able.
I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan, so yeah.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you so much for letting me interview you today. I really appreciate, the inspiration that you can give to other designers. And so they already know where to reach out to you. And so thanks again, Jonathan.
Thanks, Marcella. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah.